So, Hurricane First Presidential Debate tore through cable news. The imposter, COVID-19, is making its way through the US government, and we might be screwed with Trump's Supreme Court nominee. However, COVID-19 might have foiled all that. This is the summary. So why don't we start off relatively small, and then gradually throughout the episode we'll get more and more insane. Trump's Supreme Court pick to replace the notorious RBG, if confirmed, could reshape the court for decades and change the country in major ways.
37 days out from Election Day, the president selecting Judge Amy Coney Barrett to fill the seat vacated by the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
At age 48, Amy Coney Barrett would become the youngest member of the Supreme Court. A native of New Orleans, she went to college in Tennessee and graduated from law school at Notre Dame, where she taught law for 15 years and is a devout Catholic.
Barrett, a former clerk for Justice Antonin Scalia, could reshape the court for decades to come, pushing it further to the right.
In 2003, she suggested that a key Supreme Court decision upholding Roe v. Wade and a right to abortion was wrongly decided. If she's confirmed, the court would be more likely to uphold efforts by the states to restrict access to abortion. And the court would probably be more likely to broaden the reach of gun rights. If she's confirmed, by the time the Supreme Court hears a make-or-break challenge to Obamacare in mid-November, she might be inclined to rule for the red states challenging the law. She's been critical of the court's 2012 ruling upholding it.
Yes, Trump's Supreme Court pick could overturn Roe v. Wade, kill Obamacare, and broaden access to guns. This is Mike Pence's wet dream. And the thing is, the majority of Americans don't even want these changes made. 63% of Americans want Roe v. Wade kept in place, 64% of Americans support stricter gun laws, and 56% of Americans support Obamacare. Like I said last week, the Republicans are trying to rush through Donald Trump's nominee before the 2020 election. A complete 180 from how they were 4 years ago. Their flip-flopping is a complicated political maneuver called bullshitting. The first presidential debate.
Will you shut up, man? Listen, China ate your lunch, Joe.
You're the worst president America has ever had.
Hey,
Come
Joe,
on. I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
But you
I just want to make sure.
Joe, you're the liar.
I want to make sure.
Graduated last in your class, not first in your class.
I want to make
Mr.
sure.
Mr. President, can you let him finish, sir?
No, he doesn't know how to do that.
You know what?
You're not
stop.
true.
You're on tape doing it.
You're going to have
tape.
True.
Gentlemen.
Oh no, please go on. Man, I don't even know how to describe this debate. It was...
That was a show.
Thank you! Yes, thank you. In this debate, they talked about... I'm sorry, these are so good. Hold on. Okay, I gotta put these down. Alright, let's get back to the show. In this debate, they talked about everything from the pandemic, to healthcare, to Trump's Supreme Court pick. However, unfortunately, every time Biden tried to speak, the Donald couldn't help himself but interrupt him, which made the rare moments that Biden was able to get a couple of words out extremely powerful.
The American people have a right to have a say in who the Supreme Court nominee is. And that say occurs when they vote for a United States senators and when they vote for the President of the United States. They're not going to get that chance now because we're in the middle of an election already. The election has already started. Tens of thousands of people have already voted. And so the thing that should happen is we should wait. We should wait and see what the outcome of this election is. Because that's the only way the American people get to express their view is by who they elect as president and who they elect as vice president.
On the other hand, Donald Trump failed to condemn white supremacy. Again.
But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
are you
I'm
prepared
willing to do
specifically
that,
do it?
Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it.
You want to call him? What do you want to call them? Give me a name. Give me a
White
name.
supremacists and
Who would you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud
militia.
Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left.
Hey, fun fact. The Proud Boys are now using those words in their logo. So good going, Trump. So here's the thing. This debate changed no one's minds and just left each side hating one another more. But it wasn't Biden's fault. It's very hard to keep your composure when you've got a child screaming in the background. Now, luckily, America seems to be just as annoyed as I am.
You look at our polls, most viewers walked away from this being annoyed. That not necessarily informed. They found overall that the tone of this debate was negative. This was an opportunity for either one of these candidates to really change the hearts and minds of voters, particularly undecided voters. And it appears most, even those independents, just walked away with less favorable views of both candidates.
Damn. The majority of Americans didn't find this debate useful in any way. Well, except for the right-wing groups that are continually getting validation from the President of the United States. All in all, in my opinion, Biden won this debate. Given when he had the chance to, he did talk about his policies and what he would plan to do if he did win the presidency. As opposed to Trump, who thought he was debating Chris Wallace. And now here we are, all so excited for the next one. Huh? What's that? Oh, shit.
News. The President of the United States now confirming to the world that he and the First Lady of the United States have both tested positive for the coronavirus and they will quarantine. The president tweeting out just moments ago here in the United States, 12:54 a.m., said tonight, Flotus and I tested positive for COVID-19. We will begin our quarantine and recovery process immediately. We will get through this together. Again, the President of the United States confirming via Twitter that he is now tested positive for COVID-19 and the First Lady as well.
The President is tested positive for the coronavirus, the First Lady as well. The news rolling out overnight. Here's sort of the chronology of events of how we discovered this. First, there was a report in Bloomberg that Hope Hicks, the campaign aide who is very close to the president, travels with him a lot, had tested positive for the virus. She was seen traveling with the president on Air Force One throughout the week, often photographed without a mask, Andrew, as we watch some of those pictures of Hope Hicks traveling with the president. A lot of senior aides and the president in close contact with Hope Hicks during the course of the week. The White House physician then, shortly after about 1 a.m. East Coast time, sending out a letter confirming the president's positive diagnosis as well.
Holy crap, guys. The President of the United States has tested positive for COVID-19. I'm going to be honest, guys. When I heard this news, I wasn't sure how I wanted to handle it on the show. Do I tell jokes like, Trump has probably already injected himself with bleach, I'm sure we're fine. But I'm not, because what's more important is understanding the fact that if the President of the United States, who has the Secret Service following him around and testing him and the people around him more than my 10th grade chemistry teacher, then sure as hell we can catch it. But what's the one safety precaution Trump did not take? It's the most simplest one out of all of them. Just wear a mask. Now listen, I don't wish Donald Trump or anyone else who gets this terrible disease to die. But I gotta be honest, between him downplaying the virus since the beginning, not listening to the scientists, and holding rallies without requiring masks, I mean, he was kind of asking for the disease at that point. Oh, and I wasn't quite sure where to fit this in to the video, but Trump, why don't you start paying the same amount of taxes that the rest of us Americans have to pay? Anyways, guys, this is the end of the show. So be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already to stay up to date with the channel. Have a great day whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm gonna finish these because I don't want to waste food, and well, they're really good. I've got practice in like 40 minutes, so I might regret this, but